Good morning, children. Today we shall discuss about the motion and displacement. Here the main concept is motion. After this period you can able to define motion, able to understand the features of the motion, able to define magnitude, and by using the definition of motion able to differentiate between the distance travelled and displacement. Let us start activity 1. So I will give you some questions. List out the examples which are moving in your surroundings. So that means every day you are observing so many things are moving in our surroundings. List out all the examples. Okay. So now list out examples for indirect motion. Indirect motion means in nature or in surroundings, air is there, air is moving, but we can't see the movement of the air. So that is called the indirect motion. So list out such example. Is it possible to separate the examples in 2 or more groups? I think you have list outed so many 10 to 15 examples for moving objects. Is it possible to separate on any basis? Okay, now separate those examples. Is only the living things are movable? We are moving from one place to another, and also animals are moving. Is it non-living? Is it living things are only movable, or non-living things are movable? Non-living things here called inertial objects are movable. If as when it moves. Here inertial object means the objects which continues in a state of rest until and unless the external force is applied. All those objects are called inertial objects. How inertial objects are moves, or when we say objects are moving. So that is the important concept in this chapter we are going to study. Observe here in this figure, so many figures are there which are moving. Just observe whether you have list out these examples or not. Verify your examples. So now let us see the another figure which is animated. So very beautiful figure. So here you can observe electrons are moving, planets are moving. Here what is this? This is waves. Waves are also moving. In movements or in motion also there are so many kinds, but don't bother about the kinds. Now we are talking about only the motion. Okay, so now let us move further. So here you can observe the motion of the wave. Here two types of wave. One is transversal waves. Here you can see how the particles moves in transverse waves. In this figure you can see how the particles moves in longitudinal waves. Here also another figure in which shows the transversal waves and as well as the longitudinal waves. So how the particles are moves. So let us move to the next activity. So here activity 2. In this, here observe, a car is there at A 0 seconds. The position of the object is at A. Now after 10 seconds, then also the position of the object is at A. After 20 seconds, then also position of the object is at A. After 30 seconds, then also the position of the object is at A. What about the time and what about the object? Here time is changing. Here time is changing. You know that time is each and every minute, each and every fraction of a second it is changes. But object is in static. It is not moving. So that means the object is not moving. Even though time is changing, the object is not moving in this activity. So now let us move on to the next activity. Here observe, a car is there at A. That means at 0 second the position of the object is A. Position of the object is A and distance traveled is 0. After 10 seconds, here the position of the object is at B. That is, it moves 50 centimeter. It moves 50 centimeter. Okay, 50 centimeter we consider as meter. Now again it is moving. So that means after 20 seconds it comes to the position C. That means it moves 100 centimeter. Now again after 30 seconds its position changes to D. That means it moves 150 centimeter. Now here you are observing that as the time is changing, object is moving. Here as the time is changing, the object is also moving. As the time is changing, the object is also moving. Therefore, we can say that object is in motion. The object is in motion. Now, try to do yourself another activity to understand what is meant by motion. Now it is not clear. Even object is moving with changing the position with respect to time. So here consider, keep the matchbox on the paper and pull the paper. Is the paper is moving? Do this experiment yourself. Yes, paper is moving. Is the matchbox is moving? Yes, matchbox is moving. Whether the matchbox is moving with respect to paper, so this is important. We say matchbox is moving with respect to paper. Is not moving. With respect to paper is not moving. It is moving with respect to its original position. It is moving with paper. So therefore, here matchbox is static its initial position, but it's with respect to paper, but it is moving with respect to its original position. So therefore, to say the object is in motion, there must be some reference point. If there is no reference point, then we can't say whether it is moving or not. You can give some other example. For example, while walking with a bag, so then you are moving, the bag is also moving with respect to some position, but with respect to you, bag is not moving. So therefore their reference point is necessary to say whether an object is moving or not. And another thing is, it must change its position with respect to time. It must change its position with respect to time. Okay. So now I think you can define what is motion. So now here do another activity. Your height, say about 166 centimeter. Your weight 60 kg. Today's temperature 20 degree centigrade or 100 Fahrenheit. For example, that's all. The area of the room is 1000 square feet. Here we are using height in centimeter, weight in kg, temperature in degree centigrade or Fahrenheit, and area is square feet. These called the units. These are called the units. And 166, 66, 1200, 100, these are called nothing but the magnitude. In physics, this is very important. Magnitude, this represents the magnitude. Okay. Let us move to the next one. So now, activity for you, do yourself in your home. Now define motion with suitable examples. What are controlled motion and what are uses? Think yourself. I am not explained here. Controlled motion, I think you can understand. Controlled motion, the motion which can be controlled. What are uses? And go through the textbook and also try to answer these questions. What are the uncontrolled motions? What are the hazards? Okay. Give example for different types of motion and explain. Try to give answer these questions by using textbook and by using these activities. Okay. Next we shall move on to the next concept. Here activity 6. Let us do an activity. Here a person Raju is there here, consider at A, and he moves in this direction B 3 meter, and after he turned to left and move to C and go in this direction and come to D. This is the ending point. Now the ABCD is nothing but the Raju traveled in the path. What it gives the path in which he traveled. Okay. So now this is called the total distance traveled by Raju. This is called the total distance traveled by Raju. How many kilometer? How many meter he traveled? 3 meter, 8 meter plus 3 meter. So therefore 14 meter is the distance traveled by Raju. This is distance traveled. Now try to understand the displacement. Here the distance. Here now first he is in the position A. After moving he come to at the point D. So now the distance between its initial position to final position, this distance is called the displacement. This is distance traveled, that is actual path, that is nothing but the actual path he traveled. The distance between the initial position and to final position after it moves. So this is called displacement. Now what is the displacement? Displacement is nothing but it is same 8 meter. So 8 meter is the displacement. So now I think you have clear that distance traveled is nothing but actual path when an object moves, and the displacement is the distance between the initial position of the object and the to the final position of the object when it moves. Okay, so now let us move on to the next. So here activity for you. Go round in your room from one corner to the same. I think this is the corner. Go around in your room from one corner to the same beside the wall like this. Find the distance traveled. Measure the length and breadth and find the distance traveled. So this is nothing but the distance traveled. Okay? Find out in your room. And the displacement. What is the displacement? Here this is the initial position. I think you can understand. This is the initial position. After moving again, he come to the same point. He come to the same point. Now what is the displacement? I think you can understand the displacement is 0. This is very important. If a object moves from a point and comes to the same point after moving, then always the displacement is 0. The displacement is 0. So distance traveled you can calculate. Now move from one corner to the opposite corner. So now consider here. Here is, you are here. Move from one corner to the another corner like this. Not straight way, like this, in the same way. So in this corner, and find the displacement and distance traveled. So I think you can understand this is the distance traveled, this is the displacement. Calculate this displacement by measuring. Don't using the Pythagoras theorem, no need. Afterwards I will give such problems. Okay, now we shall move on to the next one. So here evaluation for you. Define motion. Write answer for these questions. Differentiate between the distance traveled and the displacement with suitable examples. Is it an object moves without changing in time? Think yourself. The radius of this is 7 centimeter. An object moves from A to B. Find the displacement and the distance traveled. Okay. So I think in this class you have cleared about the what is motion, what is distance traveled, and what is the displacement. Thank you.